In January 2013, Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old student from British Columbia, embarked on a solo trip across the American West. She meticulously documented her journey online, sharing her experiences with family and friends. This trip was meant to be an adventure, a personal exploration before her studies resumed. Her last known destination was the infamous Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. A place with a dark history, it had been the temporary residence of serial killers and the scene of numerous suicides and unexplained deaths. Elisa checked in on January 26. She was initially assigned to a shared room on the 5th floor but was moved after complaints from her roommates about her unusual behavior. The specifics of these complaints were never fully disclosed, adding an early layer of intrigue to her stay. Elisa was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression, for which she took prescribed medication. Her family stated she had no history of suicidal ideation, nor did she ever stop taking her medication. This medical context is crucial for understanding later events. On January 31st, Elisa was scheduled to check out. Her parents, expecting her to call, grew increasingly concerned when she failed to make contact. They reported her missing to the Los Angeles Police Department, initiating a desperate search. The LAPD began their investigation, focusing on the Cecil Hotel. They interviewed staff and guests, but initially found no leads. The hotel's vast, labyrinthine corridors and numerous rooms presented a challenging environment for a thorough search. Weeks passed with no sign of Elisa. Then, on February 19, guests at the Cecil Hotel began complaining about low water pressure and the water having a strange taste and dark color. This seemingly minor issue would soon lead to a horrifying discovery. A hotel maintenance worker, Santiago Lopez, was dispatched to the rooftop to investigate the water tanks. Access to the roof was restricted, requiring staff to use a key and navigate several locked doors and fire escapes. The roof itself was a complex network. What Lopez found in one of the 4 large water tanks was unthinkable. Floating face up, naked, was the body of Elisa Lam. The discovery sent shockwaves through the hotel and reignited the missing persons case with a morbid new dimension. The immediate question was how she got there. The tank, roughly 4 feet by 8 feet, had a heavy lid. It was a challenging feat for an unassisted person to open, climb into, and then close from the inside, or even for an attacker to manage discreetly. The autopsy results were inconclusive. The Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner coroner ruled the death an accidental drowning, citing bipolar disorder as a significant condition. No evidence of physical trauma, sexual assault, or drug use was found. The lack of clear answers only deepened the mystery. How could an accidental drowning occur in such an improbable location? And why were her clothes found in the tank with her, separate from her body? With physical evidence scarce, investigators turned to the hotel's surveillance footage. One particular video, released to the public, captured Elisa's actions in an elevator just hours before her disappearance. This footage would become the most chilling piece of the puzzle. The video, nearly 4 minutes long, shows Elisa entering the elevator, pressing multiple buttons. She then steps out, peers into the hallway, and quickly retracts. Her movements are erratic, almost as if she is hiding from someone or something unseen. She re-enters the elevator, presses more buttons, then steps out again. She gestures wildly with her hands, seems to be talking to someone, though no one is visible. Her arms flail, her body language a mixture of fear, confusion, and agitation. The elevator doors, despite her repeated button presses, remain open. This detail is crucial. The doors should have closed automatically. Was there a malfunction, or was something else preventing them from closing? After several more minutes of increasingly bizarre behavior, Elisa walks away, disappearing from the camera's view. The elevator doors finally close moments later. This footage, once public, sparked countless theories and widespread speculation. One prominent theory suggests that Elisa was experiencing a psychotic episode due to her bipolar disorder, possibly exacerbated by not taking her medication. Her erratic movements and apparent hallucinations align with known symptoms of the condition. If this were the case, she might have wandered onto the roof in a disoriented state, seeking refuge or experiencing delusions. The water tank, a large, dark, enclosed space, could have appeared to her as a hiding spot. However, the question of how she accessed the roof and then the tank remains. While the roof access might have been less secure than initially claimed, climbing into the tank and the heavy lid presents a significant physical challenge. Another theory posits foul play. The idea that someone else was involved, either coercing coercing her or placing her in the tank gained traction. The hotel's history and reputation certainly lent itself to such dark possibilities. The elevator footage, to some, suggests she was interacting with an unseen assailant. Her hurried attempts to close the doors and her fearful glances could indicate she was trying to escape someone pursuing her. However, the autopsy found no signs of struggle or physical injury, which would be expected in a struggle. This weakens the foul play theory unless the assailant was incredibly subtle or she was incapacitated beforehand. The Cecil Hotel itself became a character in the narrative. Its grim past, including the residency of serial killer Richard Ramirez, known as the Night Stalker, fueled speculation of a darker, more sinister influence at play. Some theories even ventured into the paranormal, given the hotel's haunted reputation. The elevator's malfunction and Elisa's strange behavior were interpreted by some as interactions with a supernatural entity. The specific sequence of events in the elevator, however, holds a key. An elevator in inspection mode or with a door hold activated can remain open, ignoring button presses. This suggests a more mechanical explanation for that particular anomaly. Our own investigation, weighing the evidence, leans towards a tragic combination of factors. Elisa Lam was, undeniably, experiencing a severe mental health crisis during her final hours. Her family confirmed her bipolar disorder and the challenges it presented. The lack of external injury strongly points away from a violent struggle. It is plausible that, in a state of psychosis, her perception of reality was severely distorted. The fears she exhibited in the elevator could have been entirely internal. The access to the roof, while restricted, was not impenetrable. It's conceivable that in a manic state she found a way onto the roof, possibly through a fire escape or an unsecured service door, driven by a diluted sense of urgency or threat. Once on the roof, the water tanks presented themselves. In a state of extreme paranoia or delusion, the tank could have appeared as a sanctuary, a place to hide from her perceived pursuers, or even a symbolic purification. The physical act of entering the tank, though difficult, is not impossible for someone in a heightened state of adrenaline and mental distress. Reports suggest the lids were not always fully secured or could be moved with effort. Once inside, the smooth, vertical walls of the tank would have made it nearly impossible to climb out, especially once wet and disoriented. The cold water and eventual hypothermia would have further incapacitated her. Her clothes, found separately in the tank, could be explained by a phenomenon known as paradoxical undressing, sometimes observed in hypothermia victims. As the body succumbs, a sudden sensation of intense heat can cause a person to remove their clothing. This theory, while tragic, aligns with the known facts: her medical condition, the lack of external trauma, and the extreme difficulty of exiting the tank. It paints a picture of a young woman lost in her own mind, succumbing to an accidental fate. The Elisa Lam case remains a haunting reminder of the fragility of the human mind and the mysteries that can arise when mental illness intersects with isolation and an unforgiving environment. Her story continues to resonate, leaving many with lingering questions. While we may never have all the answers, Elisa Lam's story serves as a cautionary tale, urging us to consider the hidden struggles people face and the unpredictable nature of mental health crises. What do you believe truly happened to Elisa Lam in those terrifying final moments? Was it an accident or something more sinister? Let us know your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If you are fascinated by unsolved mysteries and true crime, be sure to subscribe to Mind Unlocked for more in-depth documentaries. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video.